Once upon a time, I got a little inexpensive FPV monitor. I used it a lot, and it was extremely helpful when setting up new drones or changing OSD settings, or I could hand it to anybody at a race or when I was just flying in general to show people what it's like to fly. One day, I went on a trip, and on that trip, I turned it on, but I forgot to turn it off again, and I didn't find out until a few days later. Turns out that this does not have a built-in discharge protection. What it does is when you leave it on, it just runs the battery all the way down to 0. Here's the battery. It's at 0 volts. If you have much experience with lithiums, you know that that's a bad thing. So this battery's completely dead. So I was able to find a replacement, and the replacement I found was this one here, made by Ishin. Since I was spending money on a new battery anyway, I wanted to go ahead and upgrade it a little. The old battery is 600 milliamp hours, the new one's 750. So it's gonna last a little longer, but the problem is this battery that I replaced the old one with is actually thicker and wider, so it doesn't want to fit in here very well. It almost fits. So I'm going to show you what to do to get this battery to fit. I did spend a while trying to find an exact replacement. They were either too expensive for what you were getting, well, they're extremely difficult to find, and they cost too much, at least the ones that I found. I replaced it with an inexpensive Ishin. So I'm going to show you how to make a larger battery fit, so you can either increase the amount of time you can use this between charges, or so you can replace a battery that went dead because you accidentally left it on too long. This battery is almost too tall, but not quite. It's definitely short enough, but it's slightly too wide, and I mean like 0.5 millimeter. It can be jammed down in there. The problem with the wide one is the connector is in here, right down here, and if the battery's too wide and too long, you can't get the connector in. So this one's just short enough that you could still get the connector in, but like I said, it's slightly too wide. So what I'm going to do is take this apart and widen the bay just a little bit for this. This is a pretty cheap monitor. It tends to go for somewhere between $20 and $30. It just has one receiver in it, an auto scan button, on-off switch, and a charging port. It does have a removable screen protector, well, a removable sunshade. I always leave it on anyway, just because there's always some kind of light in the room you're in, so it helps you see the screen, and it protects the screen. So I leave it on there. Yeah, I wish they made a voltage cutoff, but they don't. Have to replace a battery. But now I'll be more careful to watch the on-off switch. Let's go inside and see what happens here. Now this back plate. Okay, now I'm making progress. So it kind of snaps on the corners over these posts. That's all I needed to know. I can move this out of the way now. Could take a Dremel tool and grind these down, or just a file. I have this file here. I'm gonna go over to a garbage can and file down the sides. And I only need to take down a little bit. The upper side doesn't even matter. The upper side in here will just go up against this. That really doesn't matter. I could take that clear off. The side against the circuit board, I don't really want anything sliding up over this circuit board in here. What I'll do is I'll take off a bit of this side. I might shave down a little bit of this side. I'm just gonna go to a garbage can, just file it down a bit. I'll be back in a minute. One thing I just noticed that would make this easier is if I take this door off, because it's just going to be flipping in the way. The easiest way to get it on and off, when you flip it up, it can slide back and forth. What you do is you get this corner this way, and you get this corner this way. Just twist it diagonally. There's a little ridge that prevents that from happening accidentally, or at least it should. If you get it pop past that ridge, it just comes right out. So you want to put it back in with that corner first, and then put that corner in and pop it back, and it's all back together. Anyway, now I'm gonna go file. I finished filing. It's now a lot thinner than it used to be. There's a lot of black plastic particles all over it from filing it, so I'm just taking some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel here, and I'm just gonna wipe this down. That should be clean enough for test fitting. Does this fit now? Well, I can see it's bending out the side a little bit. It does fit, it's just a little too snug still. It would work maybe if I turn it this way. Puts a lot of force right here on the bent wire. I don't want it to eventually cut through. That would be perfect too, to just plug in right there. Maybe I'll do some more filing here, try and make this a little thinner, make this area a little thinner too. I'll work on that. Okay, I'm back again, and I just finished filing it and cleaning it with some rubbing alcohol like last time. This time I went a little too far. I actually went so far that it separated this battery holder piece from the rest of it, at least in a few spots. It shouldn't be a problem at all, actually. Well, I could completely remove this piece from both sides and it wouldn't be much of a problem, but especially this side. So going a little too far in just a little area was fine, as long as it stays connected. What you don't want to do is file away too much right here or here, where the back corners of the battery cover hook in. It looks like it might fit now, so let's see. This is here, and I want to drop this battery in. Now it fits a lot better than it did before. The real question is, will the cover fit over it? Is there enough room for this battery to fit in here, height-wise? If I put this back piece on, I just press this back on, a little bit snug to snap down everywhere. So I can see there's actually more space below the height of these side pieces, so that means there will probably be room for the battery. Okay, I think it'll fit. This is gonna be really, really close. Moment of truth. Oh, it fits. It's a little tight. I don't know, these are inexpensive. They're between $20 and $30, so if it's a little bit bulgy and doesn't quite fit, I think I'm still okay with that. I just don't want it to damage the screen. I don't want to be bending the screen from the back. I think we're okay here though. Let's give it a try. Let's plug it in. Have to remove the battery to be able to get to the plug more easily. And it's always a good idea to check the polarity and the positive and negative match of the old battery and the new battery, so it should be fine. That's off, good. Okay, battery's in. Now, put that down in also. And then, boom, works again. And this battery came pretty well charged. It says it's full. I doubt it came full. It's good enough to run this. Whether you want to fix a dead battery or upgrade to a larger one, this is how you would do it. Although I don't love how this bulges up, but it is what it is because I killed the other battery and can't find an exact replacement. I think I may have found some, but they ended up being more money than they were worth. I think they were rather expensive, and that was kind of a waste given how much this cost total with its battery. I think it was like half the price of just getting a whole new unit. So I decided to go with this inexpensive Eachine battery. You can see it's not ideal, it bulges a little bit. It gets the job done and it makes this usable again. There's the screen. I'll put a link in the video description for the battery I use and for this little monitor because it's a great little monitor if you're setting up your equipment or you just hand to people at a race or a flying event, especially people that get dizzy wearing goggles. You can just hand this to them. It's wonderful. It takes up very little space. Please like and subscribe if this video was helpful. Thanks for watching.